Hello and welcome back to All About Community. When we went to break, I was talking with Yesenia Sanchez, who is a candidate for Alameda County Sheriff. Yesenia, I was asking you about Santa Rita, and you responded that you were responsible for operations out there. Tell us about that.
Yes, so I got promoted to division commander in April of 2020, and that was at the height of the pandemic. So I was thrown into the fire, but it was challenging, and it was definitely something that I benefited from establishing relationships with our public health partners, as well as our medical provider, healthcare services, on how we were going to develop protocols behind safety measures and getting tested or testing for not only just our staff, but our jail population to make sure that we had quarantine processes in effect so that we could mitigate any kind of outbreak in the jail. And as a number of people may know already, we've had fluctuations as far as the virus coming into the jail, but they've generally followed the same outbreaks that the community has seen. So we know that when there's an outbreak in the community, there's a likelihood that we will see that come into the facility. But, God has blessed us with the fact that we have not had any deaths surrounding COVID-19 that have affected our jail population.
Approximately how many people are out at Santa Rita?
We have roughly 2,250 people incarcerated right now at the jail, most of them pre-trial.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, our capacity is roughly 4,000. So
so it's down.
It's down, but to allow for social distancing and whatnot, we definitely have everybody spread out, and we are utilizing every square inch we can to house.
Now, I've looked at your platform for sheriff. You talk about an inadequate number of women in law enforcement with the Sheriff's Department.
Definitely.
Why is that, and how do you account for that?
Well, I don't believe we are making the efforts that we can to identify women to come in, as well as making sure that the standards are fair for females to be able to test and actually enter into our police academy.
What do you mean by fair? Standards are fair.
So there are standards that are set by California Post, Peace Officer Standards Training, and they do not require a female or anybody to jump over a 6-foot wall before they can actually enter into the academy. It is required right before you pass and you get your certification for that, but not to enter. So that actually is required by the sheriff's office to even enter into the academy. And so we wash out a lot of females because they're not able to get over the wall. So if we were able to eliminate that one thing, we would be able to get a number of females into our academy.
Well, why don't you eliminate it?
Well, that's a process that has to be approved all the way from the top.
Well, is it the board of supervisors or is it
from our sheriff's leadership?
Oh, well, you could solve that right away by getting elected, right?
Right away. Absolutely. One of the actions that
why
I will be
won't
taking.
the current sheriff solve that problem? Seems make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer for him.
Your platform also talks about the engagement with the community. What do you mean by that, engaging with the community?
So engaging with the community requires presence and being accessible. Speaking to a number of the elected officials in our cities, a lot of them don't know the current sheriff, have never had a conversation with the sheriff, and I think that is definitely what is lacking, and we need those established relationships, strong relationships, so that if there's a need in the cities that the sheriff's office can help support as far as efforts, then we should already have that communication. We should have ongoing communication as far as what's going on in the cities, how we can best work together to address some of the issues.
So you're saying you would engage more
absolutely
with the community.
Absolutely.
And that engagement would take the form of what? Going out, visiting?
Yes.
Whatever?
Going out to community events, being accessible, having what some call town hall meetings so that there could be community
Don't
input.
you currently have town hall meetings?
Yes. There are sheriff's advisory forums that are offered, but they are generally in the same location. If you really want some community input from all the various areas that we provide law enforcement services or services in general, then you need to make those efforts in those areas.
Where are they usually provided
widespread.
now?
San Lorenzo, and
San
I
Lorenzo?
think maybe Hayward, Castro Valley area. But yes,
What about Oakland?
not Oakland.
Not Oakland. I wonder
Oakland.
why. I wonder why. I can guess. I can guess. Your platform also talks about community investment and crime prevention. What does that mean? They're big words, but what do they really mean?
Yes.
Community investment and crime prevention.
We definitely need to work and partner with our community-based organizations and nonprofit organizations. They have a lot of good work being done by good people that we should be working side by side with and supporting. But a lot of times people don't take into account that the jail population are our community members as well. And so when you're talking about crime prevention, a lot of some of the suggestions and ideas that are brought forth are very reactive to crime that's already occurring. But if we truly want to reduce crime, we need to find out why people are committing those crimes and find out what those underlying issues are. And as we all know, they're attributed to poverty, inequities in education. And if we are able to provide more opportunity to our incarcerated already, because most of the folks that are incarcerated probably have very low education, the environment that they grew up in.
That's probably
they didn't
true.
have the opportunities.
And we're going to touch on that in a moment. When we come back, we're going to continue with crime prevention, because crime prevention is essential to a community that is engaged in law-abiding conduct. Don't touch that remote. Matter of fact, just put it down. We will be right back with All About Community. My name is Robert L. Harris. I am your host, and my guest is Yesenia Sanchez, candidate for Alameda County Sheriff. We will be right back.